a couple of times, and he didn't say it about Leclerc.
It was strictly about Max.
Because they know the style of. There's a reason they call him Mad Max.
You shouldn't have surprised with Max coming out with his own opinion.
Sure.
I wasn't even surprised when I heard.
What I'm saying is this: now it took two of them to come out and say the same thing. Vettel also did come out and say the same thing. So it was not just about, these are two different personalities who came out and they agreed on one common ground. So it says a lot about it when, you know, these things happen. I don't think Verstappen should have taken it as a bad thing, actually.
Well, Mad Max will definitely be Mad Max, whatever we do. I think that is sure now. But let's move straight away from there and now go down to the world of football, where so many things are lined up right there. But before we go into the world of football and talk about all that, well, let's quickly go on this break where you see, okay, I think let me do it this way now. We talked about Sergio Ramos and Mo Salah on the show. Then I'm wondering, what if you Victor, you walk out now and you just open that door and you see Sergio Ramos standing right behind the door? What would you do?
It's definitely going to hug him. Okay. Hugging badly. That's what it's going to do.
Let's see how this kid.
You didn't ask me. You didn't ask me what I would do.
I know, it's intentional actually.
Okay. Don't ask me what I would do.
Let's see how these kids reacted to their heroes when they met them. Before we saw that clip now, Sir John, you said what would happen if you get to meet Mo Salah? Now we've seen these kids. What would you do if you open that door right there and you see Mo Salah?
I'll be crying.
Okay.
I'll be crying, emotional one, honestly speaking.
Okay, I think if I open that door, for me it has to be Lewis Hamilton, and I see Lewis Hamilton. Something I might not be responsible for what I do. Let me put it like that.
People.
Exactly.
She goes gaga.
I might not be responsible for that.
I think some people might just share some stickers of Lewis Hamilton one day in the WhatsApp group, and then you stop talking about whatever you're talking about.
I tell you, something like that. But let's move straight away from there now and go down to the world of football proper and talk about the FIFA Under-17 World Cup ongoing at the moment in Brazil. The Golden Eagles of Nigeria, they've made themselves the comeback team, and yes, they are living up to the expectations at the moment. But some of the players they had a message for Nigerians. Let's enjoy that first.
I think everything is going to be good for us, and I think we are going to work hard more than before. And I think because there's not an easy game, because against Ecuador the game was hard, against Hungary the game was hard, and I think against Australia also it's going to be hard. So we come in peace, but we remain the business, and I think we are going to win the game by the God's grace.
Yes, it's big team because it's in against it. All what coach taught us, we are going to apply it, and with that we are going to win.
From the beginning of the competition, we thank God. We've been working very hard, to always get victory. My fellow Nigerians, we won't give them that opportunity because we want to top our group also. So I'm sure you Nigerians will definitely have that treatment, irrespective of their belief. For winning against us, we will always fight to get that footprint.
Around there, the players of the Golden Eaglet of Nigeria are sending messages to Nigerians telling us that, yes, they know how enormous the task ahead is, and they will make sure that they overcome it. Subsequently throughout the rest of the competition. But then, Mr. John, let's talk about these players now. 2 games coming back from behind, winning these games. It goes to say a whole lot about, let's say, our winning mentality now. How would you rate the boys so far?
Not bad, not what we actually expected before this tournament. Remember, it wasn't kind of good for the lads in their friendly games, of course, at the AYC, the one that they played in Tanzania. But then during this competition, we seen the first game. A lot of people didn't actually, fancy the way they actually slug it out with Hungarian. But then good at the end, they won, came back, just like you said, king of comeback right now. But the only problem for me and for every Nigerian, of course, those that love footy very well, has to be the defense line, of which the coach of the side, Manu Agaba, has said that they just have to tighten up the defense line and make sure that they don't concede so much again, especially going to the round of 16. But then so far so good. I think it was an awesome game. We've really enjoyed it. Plenty of goals, and that's what makes this competition for the Golden Eaglet tick.
Well, definitely plenty of goals. I can assure you about that one. Later tonight by 9 p.m. we will see if we will get more goals. That will be when the Golden Eagles of Nigeria come up against Australia. Victor, what should we be looking forward to in this game?
Well, first of all, I don't want to see any comebacks in this one. I want to see a straightforward thing. That's the truth. That's the truth. There's something they say about all-time lucky and all of that. Yep. And something about it boosts confidence. It makes you kind of unpredictable for your next opponents, when you get into the knockout rounds, because one, we expected a slow start for these guys, and yes, they did make comebacks, but you also want them to be able to show up the defense, be able to score as many goals as possible against the Australians, because these Australians, they are people we could easily defeat. I've seen some of their games, and looking at their 2-2 draw earlier on in the group, I think it will be good for us to get one from the beginning, just from the goal, just get on, maybe do a Leicester against them.
Okay, Leicester. Oh my God.
That's a jibe.
That's huge.
That's a jibe.
A Leicester. Oh God. Well, let's move straight away from there now to the camp of the under-23, talking about the Olympic Eagles, the dream team. They are already in Egypt at the moment. They're getting ready for their first game, which is going to be against Cote d'Ivoire on November the 9th, right there at the Al Salam Stadium in Cairo. But then the list is out. The players that will be doing the job for Nigeria. In the goalkeeping position, we've got Adamu Abubakar, Mohamed Galadima, Kingdom Osati. At the defense position, we see Ramos Tazes, Olisa, and Valentine Ozonwa for Sincere Seth, Josiah Shukudi, Anthony Zuchuku, and Bitok Steven. The midfielders, we see MPFL's goal king, talking about Sunusi Ibrahim, Aliyu Yawadam, Muyiwa Labiron. Aqua United in the Freke Fiong, HD Hueskaza, Kelechi Wakali, Sunday Faleye, Sondele Bashiro, and Azubuki Okechukwu, who is the captain of the side. Then, for those who will be relying on for the goals, it's going to be Taiwa Woni, Bright, Enobakari, and Oji Okonkwo. Mr. John, this team that we are looking at the moment, are we sure that these guys, this combination we can see, will get us this very important ticket to the Olympics?
Well, if not, at the defense line, you have Olisanda, very fantastic lad, honestly speaking.
But let's not forget that Olisanda was responsible for the fallout we had in Togo.
How about Lazarus, Ebube Lazarus as well?
All of them. Juru also.
Juru as well, but then Olisanda has been kind of inconsistent. Forget the fact that he made 1 or 2 mistakes at the game against Togo, but then you look at the set of players we have right now, that you want to talk about the likes of Taiwa Wini and the goal coach of Aqua United, talking about the Freke Fiong, fantastic lad. You also talk about the goal king himself, Sunusi Ibrahim. So it was if you ask me, I think we are ready to go. We are good to go.
Okay, so I think we all agree, Nigerians agree that we are good to go and trust the Nigerian spirit. They will definitely support them, come what may. But then let's go straight to talking about continental football, now local football now. The NNL. So as at yesterday morning, I told everyone around me he won't start. Everyone said, no, we are preparing, we are ready. And I was, by the time I saw that message going around to say it's actually not going to start, it didn't come to me as a surprise. It's like Nigeria hit again. Victor, what exactly is wrong with our system?
Well, first off, I would like to take you back to what you said when you were opening about the PSL, Nigeria and all of that. You see, one of the things that would not take us to those heights right about now is organization. You see, first off, if you have organization in your league, then you'll be able to do. This league has been off for quite a while. Look at the time in which the drama before they kickstarted the league, the drama at the end of the league.
Practically begged.
So, you look at all of these things and you expect, some of these things to happen again. Do not be worried when after the 21 days of fasting we go on another
long break,
maybe just to make it a total of 40 days of fasting and prayer and all of that.
Okay, well, I'm sure people are actually counting down to that one, but then it's going to be 21 more days before we will see the second tier of professional football in Nigeria, talking about the Nigeria National League now come to our screens. Is that okay?
No. Is it
come to our eyes.
Is it come to the
our phone?
Okay, come to our phone. Okay, we'll take it that way. But then the NNL has assured us that they will be back in 21 days. We do hope that they keep that promise, because so many people are waiting, especially Ibadan fans, Oyos fans, Crown FC, Shooting FC. We are ready, come what may, to actually prosecute.
I'm sure you people are ready.
We are ready.
Okay.
We are ready. I can definitely say that we are ready.
As far as
Oyos State is concerned. Okay, but then let's move straight away from there and go to the ones who are ready, the ones who did it. They said it and they are doing it. Talk about the Nigerian Professional Football
since October.
They said it. NNL picked a date before them, don't forget.
27, 28, what?
NNL did pick a date before MPFL.
This is year.
Exactly. Okay. And then by Sunday, all over the country we'll get to see beautiful football, talking about local football now. There are going to be derbies all around. But Rangers International and also Eyimba International will not be a part of all this opening day fixtures because they have continental engagements. But then quickly, let's take a look at some of the fixtures for the weekend. It's going to be on Sunday. Wiki Tourists will be up against Jigawa Golden Stars. Plateau United will be facing up Lobby Stars. Delta Force will be up against Dakada FC. For those who do not know Dakada FC, it's actually Aqua Starlets. They just renamed now and they are now called Dakada FC. Kano Pillars, it's going to be a very, very interesting one when they take on Rivers United. Owerri Township Stadium will be alive, where MFM will be visited by its former, they will be paying a visit now to their former coach, talking about Fidelis Ilechukwu. We will see how that one will go up. Fefsi Ifeanyi will be up against Adamawa United. Adamawa United just coming in from the NNL. Rangers International, they will not be a part of it. So Sunshine Stars are going to be free for the weekend. Warri Wolves and Aqua United, that one also promises to be exciting. Abia Warriors against Katsina United. Victor, the big one for me this weekend has to be Atlant going up against MFM.
Yes, of course. Fidelis Ilechukwu against his former side. And first off, before we go into those games, I think looking at some of these things, I saw something from Tosin. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter when he posted a lot of graphics and all of that. I think it would have been a good idea for the NPFL for this season
to bring all that to book.
Powerful lefty right there. But then Atlant against MFM, I think Olukoya boys would really be longing to ensure that this legacy that they have been trying to push up would last long in the eyes of people. I think they should start with a good away win. I think
it's the Premier League. Do we have? It's not. Match day ones are always normal.
Yeah.
We don't get to see lots of upsets. Traditionally, there are usually not much upsets when we talk about match day one.
It could be a little bit tricky because the ones who have their own mental awareness quite ready, their own alert and all of that, I think they are the ones who pick up the maximum points on those days.
Mr. John, let's talk about the clash of former champions. Plateau United against Lobby Stars. That is also something we should be talking about.
Absolutely, but then before we talk about that, I actually love the way you pronounce that name, Dakada FC.
So many people have said it's Dakada actually.
Dakada. The meaning of Dakada is stand up for good stuff. They are standing up for the challenge now. But then, I want to disagree with Victor that perhaps you as well, that Atlant MFM, should be the biggest game in the Nigerian professional football. No, Kano Pillars, Rivers United. Those are the teams that have, antecedents in terms of Nigerian professional football. What is MFN? They've never won Nigerian professional football. When was the last time they're just coming in? Absolutely, because it left MFN for
after 13 years.
Tony Bolus happens to be the new coach of
it's not like Tony Bolus is actually getting.
He has been losing games, all the precision games. It's not been convincing.
I just want to show them that there's something in their ranks.
Perhaps the fans of MFM will also be missing those Rasmus stars stuff from Fidelis Iglesias, the one that looks like Jose Mourinho. Press conference, you always enjoy Fidelis
Iglesias. He's one of the most interesting coaches as far as Nigerian professional football is concerned.
Absolutely. And
kudos to that.
MFM will be missing him, no doubt about it.
That is definitely sure. But
Plateau, Lobby Stars, that would be a cracker. Of recent, Plateau has not been doing really well. I don't know at this time around how Abdul Kaba will make things tick for Plateau United this time. I really do not know. But with Benga Gumbote in the side of Lobby Stars, now you want to say they've caught in another oracle that knows the nitty-gritty of the Nigerian professional football. So I'll be looking for positive stuff for Lobby Stars. So unfortunate that they lost their former coach, talking about Solomon Obede. But unfortunate. But then let's see how they will be able to push themselves together and move to win the Nigerian professional football league.
Wow, the NPFL is definitely here to stay. Match day 1, that will be on Sunday evening, 4 p.m. all around the centers across Nigeria. Well, find one close to you and be a part of proceedings in that one. But before we go straight now to the international scene and talk about international games, talking about the English Premier League, the La Liga, the Serie A, yesterday I saw something that was really, really funny online, and I decided let me share it with my viewers today. Let's enjoy it.
זה כאילו הקטע של המשחק. לא יודע אם קקה היה בקטע, אם הוא הבין את זה, אם זה היה מתוכנן מראש. בטוח. לא, נראה לי קצת היה בהלם, הוא לא הבין מה היא רוצה ממנו. מילה חסולין שם. טוב, מילה חסולין עכשיו.
תראה אבל איך הוא לא מגיב, הוא אמור.
Right, that was just the novelty game, but really funny. I can almost imagine someone like, let me look for one of those, the hyper EPL refs, giving you a yellow.
Martin Atkinson.
Martin Atkinson, thank you. Giving you a yellow, then saying, come, let's have a selfie. No.
It depends. Perhaps if you are Mosala, perhaps if you are.
We won't get back to the Mosala thing. Definitely not now, not here.
Except you are not Pepe.
Oh, true. That is another part of
Nicolas
it. Except you are not Nicolas Pepe, because I can't assure Mario Balotelli now, because I can't say something.
You don't want to try.
You don't want to do that with Mario Balotelli.
You don't want to try with Ibrahimovic as well.
Exactly.
Back in the days of Joey Barton too.
Wow.
You wouldn't want to do such a thing.
You don't want to go there too.
But let's now talk about the English Premier League. It's going to be another cracking weekend. Well, all over Europe, where leagues will be churning out. For the English Premier League, it's going to be Bournemouth up against Manchester United. That will be on Saturday. Arsenal will be up against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Aston Villa will be hosting Liverpool now. Brighton over Albion will be facing Norwich City. Manchester City will be down at the Etihad when they play host to Southampton. Sheffield United rather at Bramall Lane. Burnley will be visiting West Ham at the Olympic Stadium. Will be playing host to Newcastle United. Well, Watford now, who has not had any win this season, they will be playing host to Chelsea. On Sunday, Crystal Palace will be facing Leicester City, while Everton will be facing Tottenham. Victor, before we come to talk about all of these things, let's talk about Granit Xhaka now and Unai Emery, which is like the biggest thing at the moment. Granit Xhaka did apologize now, though for me the timing was funny. It did apologize, but let me quickly read out out some of the things he said. It was like, well, after taking some time to reflect on what happened on Sunday afternoon, what's today, please? He sent this out yesterday. That's Friday. Now Sunday, he had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but we'll get back to talking about it. I would like to give you an explanation rather than just a quick response. Well, the scenes that took place around my substitution have moved me deeply. I love this club and will always give 100% on and off the pitch. My feeling of not being understood by fans and repeated abusive comments at matches and in social media over the last weeks and months have hurt me deeply. People have said things like, we will break your legs, kill your wife, and wish that your daughter gets cancer. That has stirred me up, and I reached a boiling point when I felt the rejection in the stadium on Sunday. In this situation, I let myself be carried away and reacted in a way that disrespected the group of fans that support our club, our team, and myself with positive energy. That has not been my intention, and I'm sorry if that is what people thought. Now, my wish is that we get back to a place of mutual respect, remembering why we fell in love with this game in the first place. Let's move forward positively together. Granite. Now, Granit Xhaka has apologized. He has explained.
Apologize again. I don't get it. Is that an apology?
I felt so too, but I felt probably because I'm an Arsenal fan. I could be biased here. So I'm going to leave it out to you and Victor now to take a quick look at that apology. What exactly can we bring out? Can we deduce from what he said?
Well, maybe Victor should just have the floor first. Because maybe I've been saying apology. Yeah, for me, it's a kind of explanation. You just have to explain it.
First of,
I think at the end he said, I'm sorry.
If they think what he did was wrong, then he's sorry. Just imagine that.
I think there was an exclusiveness in there to the fans who support the club. With
exactly. He was just speaking to the fans only who supports the club. He didn't care about the football community.
No, not just
no. He didn't care about those that actually
exactly
with positive
energy.
Well, you know, first off, there's been this issue for quite a while as regards footballers, sports generally. You know, people see them as robots. And that's the first mistake we as fans make. They say fans are the most perfect players because we see everything and then we feel like they are the best and all of that. Now, this guy has been on the receiving end of abuse for quite a while. You know, I do say something sometimes when you are back there with your phone and all of that, talking with your friends, and then you start saying, this guy, he did not score that ball, he's a goat, he's a this one, and you start, you know, using those insults. If it were you, and you saw that comment at that moment, would you be happy about it? Of course, these guys want to also try to be perfect as much as possible, but we have to remember that first off, they are human beings and they are trying their best right there. Yes, it is their job, but you know, you have to give them due credit and also refrain from using strong words with them, you know, whenever you are doing some of those things. So I think there's a thin line between going overboard with this and, you know, making some sort of banter when you attack some of these players. But then it gets to a headway and some of these players lose it. They cannot undo it sometimes. You know, the threshold for resistance for some people is different from that of some other people. The way someone takes it is different from the way some other person takes it. And I think, I don't think it was wrong on Sunday.
Okay, if you say he wasn't wrong now, let's talk about someone else who has also been at the receiving end of insults and all that. So, he's been at the receiving end of utter disrespect from Unai Emery. Now, if we are being candid, and so many other people, many fans,
this is the same
he's taking it easy.
No, this is the same. This is the same Mesut Ozil who was substituted, and then he said some foul language.
Of course, I do understand that, but I'm talking about the thick of things at the moment. Like, it hasn't been this terrible for Ozil in us now, if we are being sincere.
Sure.
Exactly.
Now, the thing is this, I said something when I was concluding. I said, the way this person takes it is different from the way this person would take it. That's the truth. What he did now, remember that Eric Cantona got just a bit of abuse from a fan and he sent a flying kick his way. And that's the truth. Eric Cantona is one person who would go philosophical and all of that. You would expect that he would be one of the most, you know, calm persons at the Aristotle of football. But there he was, sending a flying kick at one of the players. Patrice Evra also did something similar, I think when he went to West Ham, when was that? And you know, you have to ask questions sometimes. But the truth is this, people undo it in different ways. And that's the absolute truth.
Okay.
There's this thing that we say in the local palace, the customer, they always right. As far as you want to admit that those supporters are kind of too harsh in their words, you still want to take a look at the fact that Granit Xhaka happens to be the captain of the side. Yes. You take every responsibility of whatever you see on the field of play.
For me, personally, now talking as an Arsenal fan, let me use that.
Yep.
this apology came too late. I feel it was probably pressured.
I still don't get
as an apology.
You keep.
I don't think
don't get me upset. It is not apology.
Okay.
You're still here to do the right thing as the captain of the side.
Let me not get you.
It's the same as that I have. I don't know. You guys have an history of some captains too.
Don't go there.
On the lighter side.
Don't even go there.
No. William Gallas,
Arsenal will be up against Wolverhampton
That's another
on Saturday.
problem. Wow.
Exactly, it's going to be another problem. But so many people are saying, no, don't worry. It's probably going to be the time when everybody realizes Nigeria needs
There's a crisis in the dressing room.
Everybody knows.
The captain of the side is out. Next Tuesday, we don't know. Maybe
we don't know what is happening.
Nicolas Pepe is not getting a prayer rosy for him. So what will happen?
You know the person I pity most?
Oh.
Aubameyang.
Wow.
My lovely Aubameyang.
He will probably make a move down to Manchester United.
Absolutely. No.
Did you say Liverpool?
No. To Real Madrid.
Okay, let's move straight away from there and go down to the Spanish La Liga, where action will start on Saturday now. We will be seeing Espanyol go up against Valencia. Levante will be hosting Barcelona. Sevilla up against Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid will be against Real Betis. On Sunday, Real Valladolid will be facing Mallorca. Villarreal now, who they lost yesterday to Eibar. They will be seeing this time. They will be hosting Athletic Bilbao. Osasuna against Deportivo Alaves. Leganes against Eibar. Zelda de Vigo up against Getafe, while Granada will be up against Real Sociedad. Now, Mr. John, I think for me now the big game for this weekend is Granada against Real Sociedad.
No.
For me,
Sevilla, Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
Oh, Granada are probably they lost to Getafe yesterday.
Exactly the
I
point.
Never saw that coming.
Exactly the point for me. Nobody saw that one coming.
Absolutely.
Everyone thought they would just be following Madrid.
Same team that defeated Barcelona
up and down. Everyone, that was what we thought.
Ramon Aziz.
He didn't even play.
It's not even the Ramon Aziz factor.
Mm.
For me, it's about how will Granada be responding to that loss now.
Well, I think they're smarting from that loss, and I think they want to make amends as quickly as possible, because we have always seen this. Sometimes, beginning of season, some of these teams are chasing or leading the biggest guns right there. But I think this one they will be looking to win in this next game.
Okay, looking to win this next game.
Can they do the Leicester stuff of few seasons ago? Can they?
No, they can't.
It won't happen. Only in EPL.
It can't happen.
That's why EPL
Even the EPL is a one-time thing. I mean, it's a one-time thing.
No, you don't want to go.
It's a one-time thing. Manchester City have now proved that it's a one-time thing. Okay. Leicester City only comes around in circles, like once in a blue.
That's another topic for another day.
Okay, another topic for another day. Let's do it later. So we'll move straight to the Italian Serie A, where action will start on Saturday. It's going to be Roma up against Napoli, Bologna against Inter Milan, Torino. Well, Olaino should be involved in proceedings in that one. They will be going up against Juventus. On Sunday, Atalanta will be up against Cagliari, Genoa against Udinese, Verona against Brescia, Lecce versus Sassuolo, Fiorentina up against Parma, Milan against Lazio. While on Monday, Spal will be playing host to Sampdoria. The Italian Serie A, Juventus will be going down to Torino to see if they can get 3 points and continue staying on top. While Inter Milan now, they should be home now.
They're playing away.
They're also playing away at Bologna. But then Antonio Conte, Mauricio Sarri, both of them this season, apart from that loss now. For Antonio Conte, it's actually it's been still. Most people expected that these two will come to the party. Of course, they are coming to the party. But then, what is happening to Napoli?
Inter Milan are not even coming to the party. You expect them to trash Parma last week at home.
I think the 3 points actually
matter. And they drew 2-2.
Well, sometimes
you expect them to leapfrog Juventus, even when Juve couldn't beat Lecce. I mean, is it Lecce? Yeah, Lecce. Away from home.
You expected much more from that particular game, but the truth is this: sometimes when you have some pressure, when you see a sort of small space, and you think
you couldn't utilize it. At the end of the day, Juve will still win the league. Inter Milan will just give them a bit of push.
I don't want to think so, because Juventus are having some hard times, and in some games they get like they are in a fix. They don't know how to unlock.
But the end result matters.
The end result does matter, but I think as it goes on, I think they will be undone in a couple of games this season. It's up to Inter Milan to take advantage of this.
Of those games,
and I think Napoli are at the big risk of falling out, because looking at the revolution right there at Genoa with Thiago Motta, yes, despite some of the foul results that he's been getting, I think the revolution might just help him a lot. Atalanta, are one of the teams for him to watch out for. And Roma with Chris Smalling and Mkhitaryan, I don't know.
Mary did ask question about Napoli.
The same Chris Smalling that is actually scoring on goals. Which one?
But he's doing very well with TSG.
But then he's got his first goal and AS Roma went
so
hyper.
They had to go hyper because it's the market for them.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Doing the job for them.
A lot of fans can relate to their stick.
No, don't go there because it's Chris Smalling.
Yes.
Don't go there. Well, let's quickly wrap things up. Going back to.
But you also want to ask yourself, where is Napoli in the Serie A table?
That is the question I asked earlier.
Not even fifth, not even fourth.
I'm surprised. I expected so much from them.
Well, it's already coming up to the other guys to step up, and they're stepping up. That's why I mentioned Atalanta and the other boys. I think Roma and Atalanta
Roma is
are ready
also
to
trying to. Even Fiorentina, it wasn't really good at the beginning, but they're coming
and
back.
Then you have to ask questions. AC Milan, what exactly is the problem?
Those ones don't have.
Don't just go there. They are just like us now. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
let's move on.
Okay. So we go back to the English Premier League. Well, are we going to have a shocker this weekend?
Okay. I love what you said when you were reading out the fixture. You said City will be down at home, and I say amen to that. That's the shocker.
No.
Wilding. He's wilding right now.
He's wilding. Yes. I agree with you.
But you think Southampton cannot thrash or upset City at the Etihad?
Well, upset them by
once beaten twice, shall they say? Remember?
Well, sometimes Southampton might just if they got.
If it wasn't the Southampton we saw over the week or last weekend, it would have been different.
If it is the Southampton that we know, they might just get beaten 2-1, and it will be a shock for us.
Exactly, 2-1.
I think it's not going to be a shock if Arsenal is against Wolverhampton.
No, you go.
That's not shocking.
Oh, but then Bournemouth will go against Manchester United. I'm sure they should be able to do something out of that one, Victor.
Fourth straight victory for them. I think confidence building.
Absolutely.
We should be able to see something. But I think the big one that also screams at me is going to be Everton up against Tottenham Hotspur. Two teams who are sort of like struggling, trying to find their footing now. Exactly the point. Those coaches, both managers,
they are dead man walking right now.
Okay, dead men walking. A draw.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with that one.
I want to say Everton shocking Tottenham.
Okay.
They are our neighbors.
Okay. Is this sort of like the neighborly love you are sharing?
The neighbors that don't like them.
Exactly.
But we love them.
I know why you're saying it about them though.
Okay then. Well, it's time to go on the show this beautiful afternoon. Well, I definitely had fun. I'm sure all our viewers right from the city of Ibadan, outside Ibadan, also those streaming online definitely had fun this beautiful Friday afternoon. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. Well, special thanks to my producer Adewale Tijane, to the production crew, those behind the camera, and those that gave us the graphics, the VTR. Thank you so much for doing this with us today. And to my guests in the house, Big John.
I wish we could have another one here.
I tell you, to actually do this.
Thank you for watching.
Victor, thank you so much for being a part of the program this afternoon.
Every time.
Well, definitely our pleasure. Well, during the show, we were talking about what we would do if we see our heroes, and I did say if I see Lewis Hamilton, I wouldn't be sure of what I would do. But then, quickly, guys, if Mo Salah gets to meet Sergio Ramos at what do you think would happen?
It's all love. Really,
okay.
It's all love.
All of they say. Well, right from me here, it's definitely lots and lots and lots of love. Don't forget to join us by 9 a.m. tomorrow on Oluyole FM, where we'll also be taking a look at most of the games we'll be having for the weekend. My name is Mary Akinshola. Do have a blessed weekend ahead now. Bye for now.